With great honour that I welcome Australian Consul General to Ho Chi Minh City, Ms Sarah Hooper, Australian Trade and Investment Commissioner to Vietnam and Cambodia, Ms Rebecca Ball, AusCham ASEAN President, Mr Ashley Irving. Also, I'd like to welcome Vietnam Government representatives from BCCI, Deputy Director, Mr Liam. Also from the People's Committee of Ho Chi Minh City, Mr Dang Woc Tuan, Deputy Director, Department of Planning Investment, Ms Mai Phom Lan, Director, Department of Foreign Affairs, Mr Tran Phuc An, Director and Department of the Industry and Trade, Mr Bui Tha Hoang Bu, Director of Department of Industry and Trade, Ms Lee Thi Huyen Mai, AusCham Board of Members, AusCham members and industry leaders. My name is Simon Fraser. I'm the Executive Director of AusCham, and it is with great excitement and enthusiasm we welcome you here for the announcement of the Industry Hub. I'd like to ask Mr Simon Pugh, President of AusCham, to come forward.
Thank you, Simon. Consul General Sarah Hooper, Senior Trade and Investment Commissioner Rebecca Ball, Tran Ngoc Lim from the VCCI, and AusCham ASEAN President Ashley Irving, distinguished guests both here and online, and members from the media. Thank you all for giving AusCham Vietnam your time and attendance today. The Vietnam market represents significant opportunity for trade and partnerships between Australian and Vietnamese business. There is enormous goodwill between both countries, with a large Vietnamese community across Australia and a diverse and thriving Australian business community here in Vietnam. Both countries are soon to celebrate 50 years of diplomatic relationships. The Australian brand, especially in areas such as food, beverage, and health products, is seen to represent clean, safe, and quality product for a growing consumer market. But there are problems to access this market, requiring a need for in-country support, information, advocacy, access to networks, and of course, networking and marketing activities to enable our Australian exporters to fully take advantage of these opportunities. In 2021, under former Consul General Julianne Cowley, PwC was called in to prepare a position paper on the potential modalities to help deliver tangible market access for Australian industry groups adversely affected by the then changing trading conditions. This was framed under the Enhanced Economic Engagement Strategy, a bilateral trade agreement between our two countries to forge closer trading ties and to be among each other's top 10 trading partners. There were three different scenarios that were proposed, but in the end, it was determined that working with an organisation with in-country presence and representation was the best delivery methodology. Following that, there was a funding application made to Canberra. Ladies and gentlemen, today it gives me great pleasure to announce the establishment of the Australian Industry Hub, to be run under the licence and management of the Australian Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam. The contract between AusCham and DFAT provides AusCham $1 million Australian to set up, run and manage an industry hub designed to assist in delivering market access across Vietnam for Australian industry groups in food, fibre and forestry. This is truly a landmark agreement between DFAT and any global Australian Chamber of Commerce. And we hope one that is a blueprint to future DFAT and Chamber collaborations. I will leave to our Hub co-chair, Tom Sullivan, to talk to the specifics of the operation of the Hub. But I will talk to one particular key note, and that is the establishment of an advocacy role, a full-time role to look after member issues, to help to introduce our access to decision makers on policy around business issues, and of course the preparation of in-market position papers. This alone greatly increases the capacity of the Chamber. You know, when the board deliberated before the final vote to proceed with the contract, we lensed the decision under one simple question. If our members knew that this was on the table, would they want us to proceed with it? And the answer was a unanimous yes. Our chamber vision is to be the professional hub linking opportunities across a thriving Australian and Vietnamese business community. And this initiative fits squarely within that vision. But as well as assisting Australian industry groups to access the Vietnam market, this increased business and transaction that the hub will deliver provides opportunities for AusCham members in Vietnam. There will be increased opportunities for the delivery of service such as business licensing, of employment, of legal services. For our members in logistics and import-export, further and additional activity in that area. For our members in the hospitality sector, there will be trade fairs and dinners and meetings. And your AusCham member names will be the ones that we put forward as the preferred service providers. In short, the hub provides tangible business opportunities to all AusCham members. To our partners at VCCI, there will be opportunity to introduce Vietnamese companies to the Australian supply chain. And to our Indo-China colleagues, we believe in AusCham opportunities of a spillover nature into Cambodia and Thailand. You know, getting this project to the starting line has involved the hard work and commitment of some very forward-leaning people. I would like to thank Julianne Cowley for sparking this idea, to Sarah Leary for your incredible work in putting together an RFQ, the subsequent negotiations, and finally the contract. Sarah, your practical, persistent, and common sense approach made this project possible. Thank you to David Gottlieb and Tony Harmon in DFAT and AG in Hanoi for your unwavering support and advice. To former Ambassador Robin Moody, thank you for backing in this project and with AusCham. And not least, I would like to thank Consul General Sarah Hooper for that meeting when we just brought it all together. Sarah, you demonstrate an outcome-based focus which assures the business community here in Ho Chi Minh City that we are well represented and led at a DFAT level. Natasha, Kate, Kieran, Yin, Quinn, Lisa, we got there. I would also like to thank Tom, Dennis, Jackie, Justin, David, AusCham board members for your assistance and work on the RFQ response and subsequent submission. And finally, to our Executive Director, Simon Fraser, you have been such a pivotal role in getting this hub from proposal to reality. But distinguished guests, today I announce the launch of the Australian Industry Hub, but this is only just the beginning. So today I call you, our AusCham members, to arms, to get involved, to join the conversation, to be part of driving this very important initiative forward. The hub will be governed by a specific committee co-chaired by AusCham directors Tom Sullivan and Richard Staplio. There remain a further 4 positions on the hub for AusCham members to get involved in the steering committee. In the chamber, more broadly, we have committees in education, energy, agriculture, CSR. These need your help to drive them and the chamber forward to continued success. And to our female business leaders, a call to help ensure that we bring gender equity to the chamber and to inspire the next generation of female leaders. There is never a lack of talent, only a lack of culture that does not allow for diversity and inclusion. And with your assistance, we can ensure that AusCham delivers to that note. A successful organisation will always look to develop and evolve to meet the times of the day. The establishment of the Australian Industry Hub reshapes your chamber, and it places AusCham firmly in the centre of activity, investment and opportunity driven through the EES. Together with DFAT, working on Policy Australia, Austrade working on Brand Australia. AusCham Vietnam continues to evolve to deliver on Connect Business Australia. We look forward to you being part of this next step in our journey.
Thank you, Simon. I'd like to ask Consul General Sarah Hooper to please come up and say a few words. Thank you.
Hard act to follow, right? I'm very pleased to be here with all of you today to mark the signing of the Australian government's contract with the Australian Chamber of Commerce here in Vietnam, AusCham, for the management of an industry hub by AusCham Vietnam. Thank you for everyone for joining us in these celebrations, especially colleagues and friends from the Government of Vietnam who have joined us here today. I'm pleased for a number of reasons. The signing, as Simon mentioned, marks the culmination of a lot of work that has gone into getting here today. And I too would like to acknowledge my predecessor, Julianne Cowley, and colleagues in the embassy in Hanoi who launched this idea a year ago. And I'd also like to make a special mention to First Secretary Economics, Sarah Leary, who recently left this post, and Kate Chapman from the team in Canberra, who have done so much of the legwork to get us here today. Thank you also to the team at AusCham, Simon Fraser, Simon Pugh, and the board members for the commitment you're making today to strengthen Australian-Vietnam bilateral relations. For while we need to reflect on everything done to get to this point today, in fact, it's all about what this means for the future, what Australia's industry hub is going to do. That is what pleases me the most. The industry hub is a part of the enhancing of Australia-Vietnam enhanced economic engagement strategy. It's a very practical step to build stronger connections between Australian industry and Vietnam, by providing Australian industry groups in our agri-food, fibre and forestry sectors an opportunity to make local connections and to deepen an understanding of what Vietnam has to offer. It will help to build market awareness, and we want to see that translate into more Australian exports and partnerships here in Vietnam. It will grow from the foundations of Ho Chi Minh City's incredible energy and dynamism of its business environment. AusCham's industry hub is funded through an Australian government project that is promoting deeper partnership between Australia and Vietnam, part of the effort to become top 10 trading partners and to double two-way investment. And the good news from 2021 is that Australia did become Vietnam's 10th largest trading partner. You might like to see this as meaning we've reached one of the two goals set by our Prime Ministers. Despite the impact of COVID on the economies, especially on supply chains, Australian exported goods to Vietnam grew by over 20% from 2020 to 2021. But what this really shows is the extent of the potential, a potential we know it is important to strive for, because we know that economic and business growth is essential to post-COVID recovery in our two countries, in our region and across the globe. The prosperity and security and sustainable growth that we want to continue to enjoy in Australia, in Vietnam and in the Indo-Pacific region is fundamentally dependent on a strong, diversified, open and rules-based trading system that delivers dynamic bilateral and regional opportunity. And just about everyone in this room here today is actually working to realise that potential. And I thank every one of you for your efforts. It is that on the ground, someone might sometimes feel like in the trenches experience that makes AusCham such a valuable partner for the establishment of this industry hub. COVID has given us all hitherto unimaginable video conferencing skills. But we all know that being able to spend time in country, being able to meet with new partners, and especially for food and beverage industry, being able to taste and touch and smell and feel the product It can't be beaten. And we also know that committing to a new market takes time and dedication to build local knowledge and know-how. The Industry Hub will bring the local knowledge and in-country support via AusCham to new Australian market entrants, expanding the number of Australian companies here on the ground in Vietnam and contributing to the economic growth of both countries. As we approach the 50th anniversary of bilateral relationship, the Australian and Vietnamese governments are determined to build an even stronger partnership, including across our trade and investment and commercial ties. And this Industry Hub is a step further in that direction, and I'm excited to see AusCham turn that step into a run. Thank you.
Thank you, Consul General Sarah Hooper. I'd like to ask Tom Sullivan, who's the Director of the Australian Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, to come up and present the hub.
Thanks, Simon. So now I'll just elaborate more on the Industry Hub and how we propose to bring it to life. The role of the Industry Hub is to connect Australian exporters to the Vietnamese market through advocacy, research, local networks, and introductions. The funding provided by the Australian government has enabled the creation of the Industry Hub, one of the initiatives of the EEs launched in November, as mentioned before. The hub will be administered by AusCham, reporting to DFAT. The Industry Hub will work with Australian industry groups looking to establish and expand their presence in the Vietnam market. We all know the importance it is in Vietnam to have local knowledge and trusted partners to be successful and navigate your way to success. The hub will provide exporters and opportunities to benefit from the many learnings and insights we have all garnered over the years. Initially, the hub will be set up to support the food and fibre sector. The reason for the Industry Hub, it's a practical activity under the first pillar of the EES, the implementation plan. It is being created and will support Australian industries to restore trade adversely affected by the disruptions of the pandemic, strengthen in-country relationships with Vietnamese stakeholders, and we have connections. It is how we strengthen these connections and utilise these connections to further assist trade. Provide on-the-ground support, as mentioned before, to assist in the facilitation and the technical market development. Engage effectively with consumers, suppliers and government authorities. Provide the voice, including identification and priority areas of focus for the Australian government advocacy on policy and regulation issues. We're looking to create opportunities for cross-country industry collaboration and knowledge sharing. And we're looking to support and assist in the government industry activities in the market. So Simon mentioned some of the value propositions for some of the key stakeholders in country. AusCham members, we're going to get the visibility for the chamber, and AusCham members for business opportunities that will arise from increased trade and activity. DFAT will see the support for the continued development of the EES and structured approach to advocacy and support to business. Australian industry groups, they'll be the real winners here, with many benefits to assist their members to enter or grow in the Vietnam market, up-to-date market intelligence, on-the-ground support, to assist in establishing further export revenues in country. The VCCI create member exposure to the Australian supply chain through broader access to Australian industry. And the AusCham ASEAN, we certainly see opportunities that will arise for industries to operate across the region. So really, what do we see the primary activities of the Industry Hub? We're very fortunate in Ozcham to be set up here in the Century, and we will have an office here at the Century for the Industry Hub. We're going to have a team of professionals to provide services required to achieve all the objectives set out. There will be an Industry Hub manager leading 3 in-country industry representatives allocated and focused on specific industry sectors, providing the latest market insights, connections, and pathways into each of those sectors. We'll have a full-time role, as Simon mentioned before, dedicated to advocacy, based in Hanoi, enabling the voice of business to be tabled and heard through our many connections into relevant government bodies. The Hub will host in-country industry delegations, ensuring meaningful connections and maximising value for delegations the time spent back in country. We'll also conduct a number of events. We'll create specific events to support industries, to network, connect, and continue to build those relationships in country, increasing their brand awareness and their profile in country. The Industry Hub structure. Creating the right hub structure and governance is critical for success. Having the right resources focused in the right areas will be vital to getting the hub established, providing value, meeting timelines, and creating sustainable success. The Industry Hub will be part of Ozcham, as mentioned before, and I don't need to elaborate. It will be controlled by the Hub Committee and chaired by an Ozcham director, and I'm fortunate enough to be co-chairing with them. We expect that we will be appointing a Hub manager who will be responsible for the Industry Hub and delivery against our 3-year plan. As mentioned, there will be 3 industry specialists appointed, and they'll be focused on identified industries. Marketing and administration support will be provided by the Ozcham team, and this will be resourced appropriately to handle the workload as we come established. So the timeline to get things moving, now the work really begins. So setting up the Hub Committee is our first step. And as Simon mentioned, we're calling on Ozcham members to get involved. So it will be certainly chaired by Ozcham directors. And as mentioned, Richard and I will be co-chairing the initial setup of the committee. We're looking for 4 elected Ozcham members, Australian business leaders, to join us on the committee to help set up and get the hub running. We'll certainly start, recruitment is key, getting the right people in the right roles is critical for success. They're setting up the office and professional services, and then open up expression of interests to industry groups in Australia, focused in the food and fibre sector, to establish partners and start to look at creating our 12-month plan. The detailed 3-year plan to establish and run the Industry Hub, solidifying key partners to ensure the long-term sustainability and supporting Australian and Vietnam businesses to take advantage of the two-way trade between Australia and Vietnam that we enjoy today. This is an extremely exciting announcement, a fantastic initiative, and I look forward to seeing it take shape over the coming months. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. So on to the official part of the afternoon. I'd like to ask for the signing ceremony, Sarah Hooper, Simon Pugh, and Rebecca Ball to come up. Cue the music. We had really dramatic music.